Give me 3 reasons why an investor should be investing not only just in Hamilton, but for One Jarvis.
My number one, Hamilton, unlike any other market, is seeing unprecedented level of government investment. No other market is seeing the same capital investment from the government. History shows us when you invest alongside the government, you do well. The second is you're buying a unit from Emblem. Emblem builds at a standard that's above the norm. So you're getting quality on the outside, on the inside, standard features that are unheard of in the Hamilton market. The third is the fact that we have ultra low interest rates right now, combined with this price point. To be buying a unit in the mid 300s is really unheard of in most markets in and around the GTA. So the fact that Emblem has close to 1 million square feet under development within a 5-minute walk of this location, buying at the first phase, buying right now, positions you to benefit from all of the appreciation from the future launches that Emblem and other developers will be making in this area.
Located at 1 Jarvis Street at the corner of King Street East and Jarvis Street, this inspiring condo project is being built in one of Hamilton's most prime locations. Before we get into what this condo project has to offer, let's answer the question on the minds of all investors. Why buy a condo in Hamilton? Well, for starters, residents of 1 Jarvis Street will only be 15 minutes away from the historic $500 million government investment project in downtown Hamilton, where a new entertainment hub will redefine the area. Hamilton is embarking upon a renewal and transformation of the city that is driven by over $640 million in government investment that will add to Hamilton's existing natural attractions, including waterfalls, park, and conservation areas. The city is investing a lot of time and money into digital infrastructure, such as Bell Canada's investment of $400 million that will represent the largest digital infrastructure investment in the city's history. And the investment doesn't stop there. The city also has big plans on the horizon, with the announcement of a $140 million redevelopment project of Hamilton's West Harbor, enhancing the city's amazing waterfront views and green spaces, creating more parks and a vibrant commercial village. But there's more to Hamilton than just the $1.7 billion government investments. When it comes to real estate, Hamilton has one of the strongest rental markets in Canada, with a recent average annual rental increases of 15%. And when it comes to the pre-construction condo market, Central Hamilton has seen the average sold price per square foot increase by almost $200 per square foot over the last 3 years alone, which represents a 42% increase in the cost of new condos. So when you look at the cost of real estate in a growing city like Hamilton, compared to other cities, it's easy to see why Hamilton offers the best opportunity to invest. Now let's talk more about the project 1 Jarvis Street, which is conveniently located in Hamilton's downtown core, where residents will be surrounded by shops, restaurants, and cafes, all within walking distance. Residents will only be 4 minutes away from Hamilton Center GO Station, which features both GO Bus and GO Train Transit. And for residents looking to drive, Highway 403 is only 4 minutes away. Not only that, but a 9-minute commute gets you to Hamilton's largest shopping center, Lime Ridge Mall, which features over 180 stores and services. And if you're a student, living at 1 Jarvis Street has its perks, as you'll only be 10 minutes away from one of Canada's best educational institutions, McMaster University, which is home to more than 30,000 students in over 120 countries, that is ranked 4th in Canada and 69th in the world. This spectacular condo project by Emblem will rise 15 stories tall with a total of 354 units, offering a mix of 1 to 2 bedroom suites. The developer Emblem is one of the fastest growing Toronto-based real estate developers that is known for redefining condo living. Hang on, because in a few moments, we'll be sitting down with CEO of Emblem, Kash Pashutin, who will walk us through some of the exciting things 1 Jarvis Street has to offer. Hi Kash, nice nice to see you again. Thank you so much for having us.
You as well. It's great to be with you.
One of the things that it's in our buyers' mind today because of everything that's happening, the pandemic, and a lot of them are holding off. They're hesitant to get back to the market. What is your advice to them? Should they hold off, or should they jump into the market? Should they track the market, time the market?
When you're looking at making an investment in a pre-construction condominium, or really any investment for that matter, you really need to look at 3, 4, 5 years from now. The investments that you're making today are not based on the environment that we're in today. They're for 3, 4, 5 years from now. The same way as the life that we live today is based on the decisions we made 3, 4, 5 years ago. The best opportunities are at the times where it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel like a great time to be making the investment. But when you remove emotion out of the equation and you look 3, 4, 5 years from now, that's the best lens to look from to see where the best opportunities are.
Now, we all know who Emblem is, but for our viewers who don't know who Emblem is, can you tell us a little bit more about the brand? And also, how does Emblem compare to others out there?
Emblem is the private equity arm of the investment management firm that I founded. I've been in the investment management business for almost 25 years now, where we look after investment portfolios for wealthy families. And so Emblem is the private equity arm of that, where we execute on our residential developments. What's unique about Emblem is that it has deep financial backing from First Avenue, which is a well-established investment management firm. When Emblem does a real estate development, it doesn't need to go out and raise money from investors like other developers. We have permanent capital equating to approximately $1 billion of Canadian cash that allows us to be very well capitalized. We don't have to cut any corners. We don't take risks with financing. And that's, I think, very, very important.
Yes, and we actually met for Art Form last year. Art Form sold out. It was a huge success, but the design, like you said, it was phenomenal. And I think we're going to see that for One Jarvis. Now, what made you choose Hamilton? Let's say, for example, our investors ask us, okay, Bridget, I want to invest in GTA. How does Hamilton compare to Oshawa, Pickering, Cambridge? Why did you choose Hamilton?
It's always important to look at the people, the principles behind any business, behind any project. And for myself, my background, as I mentioned, is for about 25 years now, wealthy families have trusted me and the firm to manage their investments. So we have a lot of experience in uncovering opportunities in different asset classes: stock market, bond market, real estate market. We know what it feels like, what it looks like, what it tastes like to identify a unique opportunity that has high growth potential. And when you look at our real estate arm being Emblem, we're active in a lot of different markets. We have 4 buildings under construction in Ottawa. We have projects, as you know, in Mississauga, Hamilton, downtown Toronto, Leaside. And all of these markets that we look at, we see the greatest upside in Hamilton. And the reason for that, there are a few reasons, but the single most profound reason is the unprecedented amount of government investment that's going into Hamilton. History shows us that when you invest alongside the government, you tend to do very well. So the numbers, as you know, $500 million going into the downtown core. This is right in the middle of where One Jarvis is located. So as the area develops, buyers will be able to, within footsteps, access the best dining, the best entertainment, the best shopping. In addition to the $500 million, the government is allocating another $140 million to redo the harbor front, the waterfront. And so you're talking about an investment from the government in excess of $600 million. And what that does is it attracts other investment. And we're already seeing it. Bell Canada has committed $400 million to building out their infrastructure, creating jobs. And then this all feeds itself. So There's a few reasons for Hamilton. One of them is that Hamilton has been on deck now for a few years, and its time has arrived now. The other reason is the transit that's in place makes it very accessible to downtown Toronto should someone need to get to downtown Toronto. And the third is the unprecedented amount of government investment that's going in. There's not one market. You know, you mentioned a few different markets that buyers are looking at. None of those markets can we say that the government is investing the same amount of money that's being invested here. Let's face it, talk is cheap. What we've done to really cement that view is we've used our balance sheet and we've acquired other development sites, because for us, this is a multi-phase opportunity. So we currently, within a 5-minute walk from One Jarvis, have approximately 1 million square feet of residential that we're developing. Because again, it's one thing to say you think there's opportunity, it's another thing to actually write the check and invest in it. And that's the commitment level that we have here.
In terms of floor plans, layouts, what are we going to be seeing here at One Jarvis? Is this more catered to investors, more catered to family, first-time buyers? What are we seeing? What sizes?
What's special about One Jarvis is that it really, whether you're an end user or you're an investor, it checks all of the boxes. And not every project is that. Some are more investor oriented, some are more end user. This project checks the boxes for both. And what I mean by that is from a floor plan perspective, if you look at what we did at Artform, and you were involved in that, and as you know, it was a great success last year, we've used a lot of the formula that made that project successful here as well. And what I mean by that is the floor plans are optimized to what buyers are looking for today and in the future. Smaller units, but more affordable, but luxurious. So our standard finish here is well above anything that we've seen in Hamilton before. You see that from the outside of the building all the way to the inside, amenity spaces in the suites. There's not an ounce of stucco used on this building. It's all brick, stone, glass, materials that you would generally see in a buildings with much higher price points. And that commitment to quality carries out throughout the entire building. When you go inside the suites, all of the units have European design kitchens. The backsplashes are not tile where you see the grout marks. It's a full slab that matches the same slab on the countertop. So it has a completely seamless design. When you walk into the bathrooms, the showers, there's no curtain, of course, it's glass, but more importantly, the glass is thicker, higher quality, so it doesn't have that metal channel that it sits on, which obstructs the line of sight. This way, it's frameless, creating a much more open, airy feeling. Floor-to-ceiling windows in every suite. All of these details are what end users are looking for. We've gone back and forth with our architect close to 60 times for the suites here to make sure that every inch is as usable as possible. Wow, this feels bigger than it is. That's what we are obsessed with when we design the suites. The layouts are going to be optimized whether you buy the smallest unit or the largest unit. What we've done here is we've really kept in mind affordability. And so we will have lots of 1-bedrooms and 1-bedrooms plus dens, and we will have some larger units as well. But we're proud to say that you're going to see close to 80% of the units less than $500,000. And that, combined with the high quality, high standard finishes that are going to come to the building, it's really it hasn't been seen to date.
How do you see pricing compared to Toronto? Let's say Hamilton right now, the price per square footage compared to Toronto. How do you see the pricing a decade from now?
In terms of pricing, our pricing is going to start in the mid 300s, which is very exciting. And not only will a couple of units be in that price range, but 80% approximately of the whole building will be 500,000 or less. So it's going to be very appealing from a price perspective, combined with the fact that you're not compromising quality or luxury or standard features. In terms of how it compares to downtown Toronto, for example, I would tell you that it's going to be somewhat close to half the price per square foot of a central, right downtown condominium. And that's really powerful because upside, I would tell you that we see more upside in these markets than we do downtown Toronto because it's earlier in its growth cycle. And the other thing is that if you pay, for example, $1,500 per square foot, if it goes up by $200, it's not nearly as much of a percentage increase in your investment as if you paid, let's say, $750 per foot and you saw it appreciate by $200, because $200 is a much larger percentage on the $750. So not only do investors and buyers have the advantage that it's a lower price point, so $200-300 per foot will be a higher percentage return, but also we actually see more on an absolute dollar basis increase. I think it's easier for Hamilton to see $200-300 appreciation than it is for downtown Toronto right now. Again, because it's so early. Look at the other suburbs, right? Look at Mississauga, where it was 5 years ago and where it is today. It's been a significant increase. And last year was actually the first year that the 905 outsold downtown Toronto. So even before COVID, affordability was something we all know was front and center on a lot of buyers, and whether they're end users or investors' minds.
Yeah, and the growth, like you said, is just getting started in Hamilton. So appreciation is much higher than anywhere in the GTA.
I see that, absolutely. And just to elaborate on that, we saw that even last year. And we're in the early days of the government investment. Last year, rents were up almost 15% in Hamilton, and prices were up about 15%. That's more than double what we saw downtown Toronto. So don't get me wrong, we think downtown Toronto is going to do very well. But I think what you saw last year, which was the suburb markets outselling downtown Toronto, will continue this year. To us, this year is a year of transition. Last year was the first year of COVID. This year is the year of transition. And next year will be the first year of, COVID really being behind us for the most part.
Yeah, we feel the same thing too as well. We feel that 2021 is going to be the year of condos. Now, there is a project that just got canceled recently in Hamilton. For our clients that are a little bit concerned and worried about, if a project is going to get canceled or not, how does Emblem reduce the risk on managing and delivering the product?
It's a great question, and I'm glad you're asking me. So there's a few things. One is, again, you look at the people behind the project. So for myself, managing risk for the last 25 years, we have a very good system, a very good process, and we have an exceptional team and depth to do that. But in addition to that, there's a few things that I want to share with you. Number one, this building is zoned. So we're not taking any zoning risk and surprising anybody. It's just not the way we operate at Emblem. We will not come to market unless we have zoning. So zoning's in place. The second is the Terrion is in place as well. The third, which is very important and makes Emblem unique, is how well capitalized we are. So the access to capital we have really puts us at an advantageous position compared to a lot of developers, even well-known names, because of the capital that we have access to. So I'll give you an example. Last year, when we were planning the launch of Artform, it was around February, March of 2020. We were planning the launch sales in the summer. That was really when COVID had just come online and no one knew anything about the virus. We didn't know how serious it was. So we were looking at it saying, look, if this virus is deadly like the plague, for example, we will not be able to launch sales in the summer. Now, thankfully, we learned a lot about it. We were able to launch sales and it was a success. But if we were not able to launch sales, what we were willing to do, and it's the first time to my knowledge, I've seen it in Toronto, was we were going to start construction of the condominium and bypass pre-sales. And the reason why we're able to do that is because of the capital that we have. We can build a building without pre-sales, without financing. That is very unique and uncommon, and it's really the same with One Jarvis. So we're very excited. We've had a lot of positive feedback, a lot of interest in One Jarvis, but buyers can be assured that Emblem has the capability of building this building with zero debt, should we need to. Now, with interest rates as low as they are, we're obviously going to take advantage of that and borrow at very low rates. But knowing that the developer you're buying a unit from can build the building with no financing, that's significant. That really speaks to the strength and the depth of how well capitalized Emblem is.
And you're correct, that's actually unheard. We don't hear about a developer building before sales. It's usually sales comes in and then they start building. Now for delivery for One Jarvis, do you foresee any delays because of COVID? I'm not sure what the occupancy is, but if let's say it's occupancy of 2026, 2027, do you see any delays because of COVID?
No, we don't. If you look at our existing projects that are under construction, we have several. We have 4 buildings in Ottawa under construction. We have buildings here in the GTA under construction. Art Form is already under construction. COVID has actually not really delayed construction for developers much. And the other factor is because we're not taking zoning risk here, zoning's in place, we don't see factors that will prolong this in any way. This building will be straightforward for us to build because we're building essentially 3 of them. Art Form 1, Art Form 2, and One Jarvis have similarities in their design. So we've become very good at executing on this type of massing, this type of building. And so we have a January 2024 expectancy. So that's only 3 years away, and we don't foresee any delays because of the reasons I mentioned.
Cash, thank you so much for the interview. And one last question for our viewers. I know you're launching the project in a couple of weeks. We're excited, we're looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be a success. But how can someone get access to the project?
We are launching very soon. Monday, we will be releasing floor plans and prices, so that's just around the corner. As I mentioned to you, we've seen a lot of demand and interest in this project. And really, to get that preferred pricing, the opening day pricing and incentives, buyers will need to work with a platinum broker like yourself, Bridget. We really appreciate working with you and the GTA Homes team. We saw that on Art Form. Your team's professionalism and commitment to your clients. You guys ask a lot of questions, which is great because you want to make sure you're handpicking the best projects for your clients. And for us at Emblem, that attention to detail is what we apply to every development that we do. So working with a group like yours with that level of professionalism, we appreciate. So the best thing buyers can do is if they're interested and want to learn more about floor plans, pricing, and most importantly, opening prices and incentives, they need to contact you or someone on the GTA Homes team.
Well, you've all heard what Emblem's CEO Cash had to say about this amazing new condo development in Hamilton. There's no doubt that 2021 is the year of condos. And what better place to start investing than in Hamilton, where there's so much potential for future price growth. Now is the time to act by investing in condos. Make sure to get in touch with a GTA Homes sales agent to get priority access to this amazing new condo project. I'm Bridget Obregon, and this has been another GTA Homes exclusive.